we will start our session. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's session. My name is Varun. I head the hospital success at Medlearn. Medlearn team is excited to connect with you all once again in its popular series of industry expert session, where we ensure that healthcare professionals get an opportunity to interact with seasoned leaders from healthcare. We have been receiving a lot of suggestions on organizing webinars on soft skills specific to healthcare environment, and here we are. I welcome you all in today's webinar on empathy in action, mastering soft skills for healthcare excellence. So before we introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session, we would like to give you a little hint about Medland, what we are, what we do. I request Subhashri to kindly play the video for us, and then we'll introduce our speaker for today's session.
Hospitals work round the clock to serve patients. Being at the center of the action, hospital physicians and staff must confront every situation and every challenge. They must also keep up with evolving health needs and knowledge through ongoing comprehensive training programs. What they need is a promising solution to ensure a continuous learning journey.
In today's world, technology is transforming life. Be it taxis, food delivery, everything we need is at our fingertips. Education is also going through a transformation, and we are at the forefront in the healthcare industry.
Medlearn is a comprehensive learning, training and skill development platform incubated at Impulsys in India for healthcare professionals to attain the right mix of content, learning and skills that help them throughout their career. The platform offers a wide variety of courses that enable hospitals to meet their employee training and development needs in areas of quality compliance, soft skills and induction. The platform is designed in a way that it enables easy tracking of the real-time status of their learning progress. What's unique about this platform is that it's accessible anytime, anywhere, ensuring quality learning literally at your fingertips. Hospitals can now assign courses and track the competencies of users on specific topics with Medlearn's intelligent assessment tool, which gives them better administrative control. Its superior courseware helps hospitals provide standardized care and bridge skill gaps at every level in the organization. The healthcare professionals will also become more efficient and empowered when their learning journey progresses with ease and at their convenience. Let us unite to improve healthcare in India by spreading knowledge through technology. Medlearn. Better prepared for better care.
Thank you, Subhashri. I would also like to welcome Mr. Deepak Sharma, who's the CEO co-founder of Medlearn. Deepak, I request you to kindly introduce speaker for today's session.
Thanks, Varun. Welcome, Devika. It's a great privilege to have you on board. For the benefit of the audience, maybe just a quick introduction. Yeah, a quick introduction about you before we get started. So, for the benefit of the audience, Devika is the group head manager for learning and development, the care group of hospitals in India. She has very successfully developed, implemented org-wide learning strategies aligned with business goals and values, demonstrated a tremendous increase in employee skill development and performance. She's used to designing innovative, flexible learning solutions and basically being able to develop solutions for individuals at all levels. She's also responsible for developing, launching, and tracking group level employee engagement, award recognition. She's been leading, organizing learning interventions for senior leaders, high potential employees, mid managers. She's also very engaged in designing training content based on business needs, using and leveraging concepts like role plays, interactive learning engagement case studies. Effectively, what they're exactly the kind of pioneering spirit we need in healthcare for soft skills training because it's a very different domain. Uh, Besides that, amongst other achievements, she's won the Ascent Awards and Achievements 30 Under 30 Young Achievers Award by Business World Media House, and has also joined the BW Healthcare World List of Young Achievers in 2023 for the impact created in healthcare industry through L&D initiatives. So I look forward to a very exciting sessions from Devika. Uh, Go ahead, all yours, Devika. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Varun, for the wonderful introduction and giving me a platform to talk about empathy in healthcare. I again would like to thank all the participants who've joined in for this webinar. And without any further delay, we would like to begin now. Imagine a hospital scenario where in a room there is beeping of machine and rustling of medical gowns. In that room, a patient lies, not just battling an illness, but also the overwhelming fear, uncertainty, and vulnerability. At this moment, the most potent medicine isn't found in any syringe or a pill. It's empathy. It's the understanding of compassion and care that we extend to our patients and their families that can make all the difference. And in today's webinar, we will explore the profound impact of empathy in healthcare and how it transforms not only the patient experience, but the very essence of healing itself. Yeah, and when we talk about empathy, it means more than just understanding the patient's condition. It means understanding the person, their fear, their hope, their vulnerability. It is the cornerstone of patient-centered care. Yeah, it goes beyond technical expertise and clinical competence. It basically means holding a hand when it trembles with fear and listening with an open heart when the word fails. In recent times, I have had personal experiences wherein our hospitals we see consistent care demonstrated by our nurses, admin staff, and doctors. And I would like to talk about a few experiences of our patients and the heroes behind these stories. One of the patient had come down from Nagaland and traveled for a treatment in Care Bhubaneswar due to some cardiac discomfort and for a surgery. Doctor suggested him the nearest date for the surgery, and during his journey with Care, the doctors and nurses went one step ahead for him to adjust in the new environment. He was facing linguistic barrier. He needed assistance in accommodation. He was due to which he was provided a SPOC, specific point of contact for any issues or assistance. Our team went one step ahead and supported him throughout. The patient was so delighted, and he shared that the staff members made him feel home away from home. He even clicked a picture with the staff to frame it and to keep it with him and also gave one to the hospital too. Yeah, another story that I can recall right now is that one of the patient had come in for a treatment due to shortness of breath, and his interaction with the doctors and the nurses was very appealing to him. Doctors' compassionate counseling, empathetic interaction, and friendly approach of the nurses, and the personal touch by the entire team, including the admin staff, was very delightful. The patient and her attendant, they were so overwhelmed that that means the attendant, had sketched a picture of a doctor and the nursing staff who took care of the patients as a gratitude towards the compassionate care. Yeah, and they gifted it to the hospital too. So I hope I'm audible till now.
Yes, Devika, this is for Mr. Deepak. He is unable to hear because the voice is good. Anybody who's
Okay.
unable to hear, kindly just adjust the device audio.
Yeah.
Continue, Devika.
Okay. And then another great example or a great experience I would like to share with all of you. It's about a patient who went through a successful surgery in one of our hospitals, and he had an overall amazing interaction with the nurses and the doctors. It was quite friendly and positive throughout the journey. The patient was so happy about it, and he was a blogger. He is a blogger. So he made a reel out of the whole experience with the doctors and the nursing staff, and he shared it over his page. So here are some these examples, they basically reflect if we are empathetic towards our patient, it makes a lot of difference in their lives because the impact that it creates, it goes just beyond those 4 5 walls of our hospitals. It is something that they carry throughout their experience and their journey. They go back to their friends and family, and they share their experience. And if you see, it's not just within the care hospitals, but across the healthcare industry and even outside. Healthcare professionals, clinical surgeons, they are endlessly expressing compassion towards their patient. Like very recently, you must have heard about, it was all over the news that there was a very young kid who got a heart attack on a plane. And the flight had about 4 doctors, and all of them came forward to save the kid. And fortunately, and by God's grace, the kid also survived. That's empathy and compassion and leading with example. Even in standalone healthcare system and in defense too, the impact of empathy by the staff is multifold because the patient psychology and the feelings, it remains the same during their experience with the healthcare system. Yeah. And when we focus, and our focus to be should be towards mentally supporting our patients, emotionally supporting them and their relatives by communicating with them, reading patient psychology, psychologically satisfying them, and talking to their relatives. And most of the time, due to stress, patients fall under anxiety neurosis, and they require much more support than from the hospital staff and the doctors. Just a few actions of compassion and word of care can make patients and relative calm down. Like for example, don't worry, surgery is not going to be so complicated. Mr. So and so will be fine. Patient is in good hands. We've done this kind of surgery. We've done this kind of treatment multiple times. Even the nurses can use these phrases to, calm down the patient and their relatives. And to help uh, basically train people over empathy, because many a times due to work pressure and due to multiple shifts and due to a lot of shortage of staff, what happens is that we are not able to perform well when it comes to displaying soft skills and displaying empathy and compassion towards our patients, for which trainers really support and the organization through multiple methods. So I'm going to talk a little bit about different methods of L&D that can assist in improving the overall soft skills and empathy of healthcare professionals. So as you all know, and we have also been through the same experience when it comes to classroom training sessions, there are trainings like on empathy, effective communication skills, interpersonal skills, healthcare courtesy, etiquette, building self-confidence, improving listening skills. These are some of the very basic modules that can be developed in-house or by the external vendors, and can support the staff as well as the doctors to understand empathy and the impact that empathy has over the patients. Yeah, these are some of the very basic trainings that we must have in our hospitals. Now, these classroom sessions should not be very, very directive, or they should be very interactive. Yeah, they should also include role plays so that, post the session is over, just to understand what the learners have understood or what they would want to go ahead with, or, talk about, or start doing it on their daily life. They should include role plays, retraining through recordings, Okay, so I have one of the messages that say that ma'am please use Hindi. So मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बात करूंगी. I hope बाकियों को भी थोड़ा समझ में आएगा. So जब हम बात करते हैं retraining की through recording videos while staff interacts with the patients. So basically जब if you have a trainer or anybody in your department who is a departmental trainer, they can assist the junior staff or the staff who have already gone through these trainings to record videos. So, for example, one can be a patient and the other can be a staff member. And दोनों लोग interact करेंगे. Patient also can be a staff member, but acting like a patient. And पूरा interaction complete होने के बाद we can take a video of it and then maybe train the staff कि आपने यहाँ गलत कर दिया है, यहाँ और सही कर सकते हैं, यहाँ आप और interactive हो सकते हैं, यहाँ आप और compassionate हो सकते हैं, यहाँ आप और empathy पे focus कर सकते हैं. So these kind of videos, we've done it in our hospitals and they have actually had a very positive impact on the people who go through the training session. All right, so I have also a request that talks about please speak in Kannada. I don't understand Kannada, so I'm just gonna stop here. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to mentoring your juniors and junior staff being mentors by their mentored by their seniors, so many a times what happens is anybody who's joined in new at a junior level and is at the front desk, in the sense facing the patient, could be an admin staff or ये बंदा या बंदी नर्स भी हो सकते हैं. इन लोगों को मेंटोरिंग की बहुत ज़्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट होती है एंड टेक्निकल ट्रेनिंग्स के लिए ही नहीं, ओवरऑल आपका फुल एम्पैथी एंड कम्युनिकेशन एंड ओवरऑल कंपैशन डिस्प्ले करने के लिए भी जूनियर स्टाफ को रिक्वायरमेंट होती है सीनियर्स की असिस्ट करने की. I have two options here wherein you can get either volunteers to be the seniors or the juniors too. Most of the juniors would require that training. So either you can have a system within the place on mentoring, or maybe you can do it once in a month or twice in a month, depending upon जहाँ पे patient feedback थोड़ा ज़्यादा negative आ रहा है. And then we will talk about a bit about cross exposure training. So cross exposure training may what I would suggest is whatever hospitals or sister hospitals that you have or the departments that are doing very well in terms of patient feedbacks, the other staff from the department should go there, be cross exposed, understand what is the best thing that they are doing, and then go back and imply the same. Yeah, that's a baseline of cross exposure. We can use cross exposure training in multiple forums, but here we will stick towards soft skills and empathy because that's the topic today. Patient and family engagement programs wherein the patients talk about experiences while the soft skills training is going on. So while you are maybe organizing a training session on soft skills, आप अपने patients का feedback through them being physically present भी ले सकते हैं कि हमने ये face किया था, अगर आप इस चीज़ पे work करेंगे it'll be great. Yeah, so these are some of the many methods of L&D that can be utilized and which I have seen in last few years being utilized in healthcare, and they have a very positive impact on the system, especially on the employees, because जब employees को समझ में आता है empathy कितनी ज़रूरी है, only then they will be able to display empathy while at work. Yeah. And if you find any individual who's maybe not displaying empathy even after getting trained, you can take some retraining. Yeah. Or to gather that feedback also, you can talk to the supervisors, their peers, get a patient feedback. That will help. Now, there have been countless stories wherein, successful soft skill training programs have been displayed or created by the company, and it has overall worked very well. Now, me being from care, I know how it works. We have established the system here from a scratch, and then today I can definitely say that we see higher patient feedbacks, positive feedbacks from our social media internal feedback system. And there's another study on Mayo Clinic. It has a very beautiful program called Healing Encounter. And after they have introduced this soft skill session, they have seen higher patient feedback satisfaction surveys. and improved health outcomes. Now, these examples highlight that empathy programs can make a significant impact, positive impact on patient experience and healthcare outcomes. They emphasize the importance of fostering empathy in healthcare industry and provide valuable insights to all the institutes and professionals looking to implement similar initiatives. Yeah, and the overall impact, now we've already spoken about how important it is for the employers to go through empathy and communication and compassion and soft skills related training. The overall impact of this is amazing on the patients. Like, I'm sure all those who've joined in, if you're being from the hospital background, I'm sure when you receive a positive feedback somewhere down the line, they, apart from talking about the technicality of the procedures, they also talk about, the staff was very friendly, the staff was very caring, I felt home away from home. Everyone who I met during my visit to the hospital was very interactive. Yeah, such kind of comments and feedbacks, they clearly show that the patient feels good when staff is empathetic towards them. Yeah, when healthcare professionals exhibit empathy in their interactions with the patients, it significantly influences patient satisfaction and overall perception of care. There are some of the common themes that can be found when staff is empathetic, like increased patient satisfaction, improved trust on staff, better communication with the patient, reduced anxiety of the patient, their willingness, that means the patient's willingness to recommend towards the hospital to the other patients or the clinic towards the patient, their relatives or their friends. Their patients also feel comfortable and respected, and the overall and it overall has a very positive emotional impact. Yeah, and then it's not just about taking care of others, it's also taking care about yourself. Yeah, charity begins at home, so self care also begins at home. And at home doesn't mean that first taking care of everyone around us, but taking care of your own self, how you're feeling, what you're feeling, how is it that you want to improve what you're feeling, is it related to your physical health or your mental health or your spiritual well being? All of it makes a lot of difference to your own self care. Why I am focusing here today on empathy towards yourself is because when we are empathetic towards ourselves, we know the feeling of empathy. Yeah, when we are able to feel empathy within ourselves, we will be able to display it and talk about it to our employees, our colleagues, our friends, our family members, and overall to our patients. Because for any healthcare professional, one who's working in the hospital is most of the time connected to the patients, and it is very, very critical for all of them to be empathetic towards them, as patient comes from very, very difficult zones, and they're facing a lot of financial issues, or they could be facing mental issues, they could be facing family issues, but they're still coming to the hospital because they have to. So hence it begins from within. And post COVID, and even prior to that, as a matter of fact, healthcare professionals faced emotional toll due to long working hours, shortage of staff, immense pressure, and so on. Hence, it is critical in today's scenario to be empathetic towards ourselves too. And guys, if you or your colleagues or people working in your teams or down the staff, if you find somebody struggling with self care or empathy, or you yourself are doing that, then don't shy away from seeking support of your loved ones, because they're the ones who are actually, connected with you, and they would understand how you're feeling. Yeah, your family members, your friends, your colleagues. If you are in a lot of emotional difficulty or personal situation, facing some sort of difficulty in personal or professional life, talk to your colleagues, talk to your mentors, talk to your seniors. Don't deal with it all alone. Okay. for which you can, and for all of these things, there are a lot of good stress management seminars and workshops that are conducted by a lot of spiritual NGOs. You can also attend very good Brahma Kumaris videos. We have, in fact, CARE has collaborated or tied up with Brahma Kumaris Center, and we have sisters who come and visit our hospitals, and they conduct such training programs, workshops, and they talk about experiential learning, how to manage stress. And we've got about 16 hospitals across India, and each of the hospital has a tie-up. So we focus a lot on the mental well-being of an individual too, because when you are stress-free, when the staff at the hospital is stress-free, it's easier for them to manage and work around during high-pressure situations. Yeah. So if I would, before I move forward, I would like to maybe ask you all if you've had any experiences. Just raise your hands. Any experiences while you are at healthcare, and you've had experiences of displaying empathy or receiving empathy from the hospital staff. You can maybe raise your hands, and the team will unmute and you can share then. Okay. I think I saw hand being raised.
Subhashi, you can enable mute unmute options for the participants so that they can speak up, they can
Uh,
share their
yes, Varun.
experiences.
Yeah, they have cancelled it. Whoever raised their hand. So,
I guess Vishesh, I think.
Anybody would like to share their experiences, or they might have witnessed anything related to how empathy has impacted the healing of the patient, how it has improved. We would be happy to hear from you.
Or you yourself would have, been empathetic towards the patients or the staff.
Maybe I believe at the end of the session, we can have another round of Q&A and experience sharing, Devika.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Why not? All right. So as I spoke about a lot about L&D and the initiatives that we've taken up at CARE and the impact it has created, all of that is actually visible on the shop floor. And the higher patient satisfaction, the easier it becomes for employees also to feel motivated based on the empathy and the services that they have provided. Yeah, and when we talk about L&D initiatives, a lot of other aspects also you can work around, but that comes under more under, mid management or the senior management. Yeah. The team can also go through some sort of very good training programs that are available through all the B schools. We have recently explored a few B schools. If an individual gets to go through those kind of courses, it's a asset to the organization. Yeah, and a lot of different programs. If you would want to approach, uh, take an approach of for the mid management staff, we can also talk about care internal leaders, and they go through a lot of such training programs, which include the softer part of it as well as the technical part of it. So, in the world of healthcare, it's easy to get lost in technicalities, but today I would like to urge each one of us to pause and remember the fundamental essence of our profession, and that is empathy, right? Every day we have the privilege of making a difference in people's life. We have the power to heal them, not just their bodies, but their minds too. Am I right? And while being leaders to drive excellence in healthcare, it's let's never forget that empathy can be a catalyst of healing. So only when you feel really good from within, you will be able to, provide very good care to our patients. It can soothe the pain, elevate suffering, and it's not just a soft skill, it's a powerful force for good. And so, as we navigate the demands of our profession, let's keep reminding ourselves of the immense impact empathy can have. And let's make it a priority on our daily healthcare services. We should make sure that, we should be the reason to smile for someone else to smile in their darkest hours. Yeah. And, it's overall, that's what it is all about. Let's be calm in the voice of amid the chaos. Let's be empathetic healers who actually make a lot of difference. Yeah, so it looks like I was able to complete my whatever I had thought to reflect right now. And I really wish to interact with everyone. And if we have any questions, queries, if you want to talk about something, if you want to utilize my expertise in, other areas in terms of training, you can please feel free to reach out to me right now, maybe later too. So.
Further corroborating to what Devika just mentioned, supporting that, we would like to play a video on empathy and how it impacts the patient mindset, how it can improve patient heal, what are the various emotional turmoils every patient, and not even patient, as rightly mentioned by Devika, that not just patient, internally staff members also we have to be empathetic. We have to be empathetic with each other as well. So, supporting that, we would like to share a video and post that we can have your questions. Subhashri, please play the video.
This is actually a beautiful video on empathy.
And I believe what all Ms. Devika mentioned exactly it resembles empathetic towards the entire healthcare environment. We all understand that hospital cannot be a very happy place to work for employees as well, because they deal with a lot of pain, they deal with patient psychological imbalances, a lot of emotional disturbances. So we have to be empathetic towards ourselves, our staff members, each other, and of course the patients. So we would be opening the Q&A session. Any questions, please drop in the chat section. Please put in your queries. Need not have to be necessarily a question. It could be your experiences if you want to share anything that you have implemented, or you have experienced, you have witnessed something. We would be happy to hear it from you. Any questions, any suggestions, any experiences?
So I think we got a question.
So, is it feasible to make empathy a part of patient feedback or NPS scoring, Devika?
Yeah, absolutely it is. In fact, we have within our feedback system, we have a score within soft skills under courtesy. So courtesy, empathy, all of that fall on the same track. So we can have maybe healthcare courtesy etiquettes, we can have empathy, any of that. So we initially went with courtesy because it includes a lot of different factors plus empathy. You can do that.
Another
So
question
we
is
have
any,
MedBlaze. It helps
yes.
us a lot.
So, any suggestions on how can we bring in a culture of empathy in hospital environment?
Yeah. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find out what kind of who exactly requires those trainings. Yeah. Then you'll have to develop a training module, maybe two training modules. One could be on empathy, one could be on healthcare courtesy and etiquettes, and one could be on communication skills. Yeah. Then you will have to train these people on the same, collect patient feedbacks, and then again retrain those who may have not improved. And consistency is the key. We can't do this that ek bar humne training karwa li and now it's closed. Now, you don't need to train for a month. If we require, we have to conduct and must conduct at least one training session on empathy every week, depending upon the highlighted departments. Yeah, the ones who have more negative feedback should be prioritized. It's
So
very
another,
easy, but just the only thing is that we need to know how to go ahead with it and what exactly has to be done. So what I just shared, if you try and imply it, it'll work for you. And you need to
another,
have a dedicated training resource. Sorry, you need to
correct,
have a
please.
dedicated training resource who has a skill to conduct a soft skill session.
So, Devika, another question which was also in my mind as well. So, empathy can
Yeah.
be a very intangible aspect, right? So, not a
Mm.
very measurable element. So, if there
Mm.
are other quality parameters, of course, we can measure, we can quantify it. But one of the question is, how can we measure as hospital administrators that our staff members are empathetic in their approach towards the patients?
So one of the best measuring tool is MedLearn. We have actually explored it, and somehow I feel Medlearn gives a pop-up on the system of the manager that you have to go back and rate the team member on empathy, and these are the 5 questions. If that person is not rated well by the manager, that person goes back to the training session to attend it. That's one of the approach that works really well.
One more thing which I would also like to understand from you, Devika, from your expertise, any innovative ideas that you might have implemented in your journey in healthcare that has helped you develop empathy in staff members?
Yeah, yeah. So One of the key things that worked very well, though it's not very innovative, but it's been happening for quite some time, that is role plays. Role plays impact the person a lot, and when they are standing in the shoes of a patient, they're able to create and understand a little more about soft skills and empathy. But what I really want to explore, even in the coming time, is something around gamification of the training programs. Yeah, maybe virtual reality, yeah, augmented reality, uh, such stimulating situations wherein people don't have to really get out of their chairs, but maybe through some sort of a system they can attend the training program, feel it, and then get back. Yeah. And one of the other very good things that I really want that has worked with us is micro learning, making videos of small lessons and sharing with people around, so that it's a reminder for each one of us.
So,
And storytelling workshops, that means anybody who is, say, maybe conducting a training session, it begins with a storytelling. Yeah, ऐसा हुआ ये हुआ and this is how it happened. So learning from each other. And very importantly, I strongly suggest, please, we have to ensure that we have departmental daily meetings wherein we discuss patient feedbacks, we understand who requires the training, and if the trainer is easily available, ask the trainer to be there in the department, give a training session or maybe a quick bite for about 5-10 minutes, and go back. So not everyone will get an opportunity to come and sit in the training room and go through the whole session for 40-45 minutes. It's a difficult task. So the trainer, if you have a dedicated resource, have that person be available on the shop floor in the departmental meetings, talking about patient feedbacks and the improvement, and maybe some training pointers, maybe some key takeaways for the day. I know the
one very
managers
good
can do that
question.
job, but a trainer can do it better because it is
True,
soft skills,
true. Yes, yes. And they know how to facilitate it, how to explain it in such a
Yeah,
effective way. Another
yeah.
question which is very valid, Devika, that
Okay.
people know, okay, there is a training happening at empathy. Sometimes it becomes challenging for the trainer also कि उसमें हम क्या बोलेंगे या हम
Hmm.
empathy में क्या बताएंगे. Of course, either if it is a case study based training or it's a role play. But when it
Hmm.
comes to, explanation of certain points, so there are two questions I'm clubbing, that what are
Okay.
the points that they can take into consideration whenever they are
Okay.
preparing a training content on empathy or whenever they are delivering training on
Okay.
empathy. What are some key points they need to take care of?
So, my suggestion is to have a checklist of the right words and sentences to use. So when there's some scenario which happens again and again in the nursing lifestyle during their work hours, we can have some phrases. अब हम हैदराबाद में हैं तो हम तेलुगु phrases use कर सकते हैं. नॉर्थ में है तो हम हिंदी phrases use कर सकते हैं. It's not important कि आप English phrases ही use करें. You can utilize, and to empathize, there are particular sentences that you can use, that I'm really sorry that this has happened. If I was in your place, I would have felt the same. I totally understand how you're feeling right now, but let me just get back to you. I'll just check with my supervisor. We'll get back to you with all the details and so time. So a junior staff can say this, then a manager can go ahead and explain it a little further. So having those words, phrases, it's easier for people to follow. It's not possible for the trainer to train on everything. But if we have these situations, these scenarios, and the sentences in place, it becomes easier for us to direct the team. कि अगर empathize करना है तो ये चार चीजें आपको बोलनी है. Sorry का use करो, thank you का use करो, please का use करो. Do these things. That'll work.
Um, few
And
last
empathize.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devika, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, please continue saying something.
Okay, so like videos and interactive training session is extremely important. No matter आप कितना presentations दिखा दो, लेकिन जब तक आप अपने audience से connect नहीं कर पाते, the trainer will not be able to deliver what is expected. So have the training modules with 4 or 5 slides maximum. Have a video and make sure that the trainer is interactive. वो question पूछ रहा है, role play करवा रहा है, केस स्टडी दे रहा है, मे बी अ सिंपल केस स्टडी. सुबह एक पेशेंट आया था, उसने ये बातें बोली, जाने के टाइम पे वो फीडबैक देकर गया, आप क्या करोगे सिचुएशन में होगे तो Simple. These kind of simple feedbacks will, and this kind of a model will work for everyone.
Just another question on can trainers present case studies on negative and positive feedbacks from patients as a empathy training during inductions?
Yeah, it is very, very valid, you know. And to focus on empathy, case studies are very, very good. And I suggest rather than going online and searching, Googling number of case studies, you look back to your patient feedback, see what has happened, and understand from the staff who are the heroes who've done things really well. Have two case study, one with the positive impact and one with the negative impact. Ensure all the details what the staff had done, what the patient had wanted, patient wanted, and what exactly was the outcome and what the patient feedback was. All of that should be in that case study. Don't make it too hard because people may not be able to understand. Your audience at the junior level may not be able to connect. Maybe char paras rakho aap, char line, okay, that's more than enough. And have the case study. Questions should be around, if you were in this place, what you would have done. Do a small role play out of that case study, make two people, group them, and then conduct case studies.
So for another question, I believe Devika, you have already answered that how trainers can play a role in streamlining empathy across all departments in hospital. How L&D
Hmm.
can have a positive impact of improving quality in healthcare, and what is the framework, if you would like to suggest? What is the role of a trainer?
Hmm.
How trainer
Hmm.
can be an agent to, bring the sense of empathy across?
Hmm. So imagine a situation wherein the trainer, you don't have a training department in your hospital or your clinic or your out healthcare system. Imagine, and I have seen hospitals who do not have a trainer and they want a trainer to be there and they want to learn the best practices of L&D. If you don't have a trainer, nobody takes the responsibility of teaching your staff and training baseline. If you even if we don't if we even if we avoid, it begins with teaching. You start talking to the people. It begins with talking, then it comes down to interaction, and finally their learnings. So if you don't have an L&D, you definitely should have L&D in place. If you don't have a framework in L&D, begin with the soft skills in healthcare, then move on to the mid management and then to the senior management. Yeah, and then maybe because I'm sure all of you would have people who are technically sound in their system. So टेक्निकल ट्रेनिंग सब लोग की होती रहती है, लेकिन हमें सॉफ्ट स्किल्स को ज्यादा फोकस करना है. बिकॉज इन टुडेज सिनेरियो, इफ वी डोंट डू दैट, योर future of the feedbacks may not be that great. Yeah. So when a trainer goes and trains in the department, conducts a departmental training, only a trainer has the can take up the responsibility. I have seen a lot of times when managers do it, but they don't do it 100% because they have their different priority list. A trainer as a priority can do a lot more for you.
Thank
And
you.
to understand the impact of L&D, I think patient feedback is very, very accurate. You should definitely check out the patient feedback. Employee engagement survey also assists in understanding how the L&D looks in the future and how is it has it performed in the last few years. Both of
I
these
believe
things
very
will work.
beautifully answered all the questions. Oh, I can see more questions coming up. Can you suggest some tools to measure the effectiveness? Okay, so we would be wrapping up the Q&A in next 5 minutes, so we can cater a few more questions. Devika, if you can suggest some tool to measure the empathy. I know it's a very tricky questions because the tool is a human experience itself. So
So, measuring effectiveness of learners when it comes to soft skills, you can do it through a system. So, if you have a very strong learning management system in place, it can assist you with certain pop-ups. It can assist you with certain areas wherein you can rate the employee again and again. Yeah, you can explore MedLearn for that. And somehow, I also feel another tool is your feedback. Soft skills is on the very softer aspect. Sometimes we say that ये बंदा ना बहुत empathetic है. अब वो हम empathy कैसे define कर रहे हैं? It is based out as of his or her overall aura, her or his approach, yeah, towards people around them. All of that is very, and it differs from different people. I may have a different perspective of somebody. Maybe Varun will have a different perspective. We will have different perspectives. But ये question है pop up ये आपको help करेगा.
So, just added to what Devika just mentioned, to all the MedLearn hospitals, I believe micro-learning, as she mentioned, the audio-visual mode of training, the case study-based learning programs, your training impact assessors, your knowledge assessments, even many of them were asking Devika to speak in different languages. Even the local language videos are available on MedLearn. So, it's a great thing for all the MedLearn hospitals who are already experiencing the same. Those who are not on Medlearn yet, you can explore and get a demonstration on our LinkedIn pages, on our website. For more queries and details about how Medlearn is helping hospital across to streamline all these interventions, you can write to us at info@medlearn.com. Devika, any last words of conclusion from your end that you want all the participants to take as a key takeaway?
Yeah, so drive empathy with a lot of passion. When the leaders do it with passion and compassion, juniors also learn from them. And it is top to bottom, it is not bottom to top. Yeah. We can't expect juniors to do it, and we are not doing it as managers, senior managers, AGMs, and head of the companies, head of the hospitals. If you're not doing it yourself, don't expect others to do it, because whatever you are driving at a senior level, they are learning and they will reflect the same in their behavior. I'll be guilty if my boss is empathetic and I'm not empathetic. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. If
Yeah.
I'm empathetic and my trainer is not empathetic, I am going to question her or him. If they learn, they are also learning from their senior trainers. It goes top to bottom. So
Great.
that's about it. And
So thank you so much, Devika, for being such a charismatic trainer. We thoroughly enjoyed what all instances and experiences, examples, illustrations you took from your own experiences and what you have implemented at CARE. Of course,
thank
CARE
you.
has been setting benchmarks in patient experience and service excellence, and wonderful job by you and your entire team for ensuring such healthcare standards across industry. Looking
Thank you.
forward to have similar, interactions with you in future. I would also like to thank all the participants for being so diligent in registering on time and joining at this session. I wish
Mhm.
you all a very happy learning experience and wonderful evening ahead. Thank you so much, Devika, once again.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Varun. Thank you, everyone.
Pleasure. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.